Welcome back, everyone, to this second match of our final day of the second New Eden Open. This is the Thingy versus WeHURT series. Thingy up by 1 with a very commanding performance using stealth bombers in the first match. WeHURT is going to have to do everything they can to claw their way out of this hole. What do you think about these two setups, C-Speed Dolan?
So no stealth bombers for the Thingy team here. They're going with the old EOS Vexor brawling medium drone style setup. And for WeHURT, we have double Armageddon, double Vexor, another drone sort of brawler. But we have double Geddon here, and we'll have to see, do they have any smart bombs on those Geddons?
I would expect smart bombs to be a good utility choice, at least on one of the Geddons. We have taken a look. They only have one missile launcher on
one
each
rapid
of them.
heavy missile
One rapid heavy missile launcher. That suggests that they're probably using some of the highest for smart bombs as well as the newts. Thingy here, of course, bringing a setup that we've seen a couple times before, except with the special change. That Merlin is a fancy skinned Merlin that doesn't give you any more performance, but is 1,000% more pimp.
It's more swag. And the match is off here. WeHURT coming in really close to the beacon here.
Right at 0, yeah.
They're going to come in and try and actually get some webs, get some newts, apply this damage here, because they have this strong Armageddon core. And we see here EOS taking damage already pre-repped, though, so he probably won't go down. The Inquisitors are going to be in danger here. There's already cross reps from one Inquisitor to the other, but he's already damped. He's going to go down from that drone damage. Probably a big cloud of Warrior 2s.
The lack of reps there because of the damping. Yep, there you go. That is a big early play for Thingy, being able to take down one half of this.
You can see that cloud of Warrior 2s there. If they move on to the next Inquisitor, that's going to be trouble for the logistics of the WeHURT team.
And as we've seen in previous matches, once one half of a pairing of logistics frigates dies, essentially things fall apart for their repping. The other one will go down because it has no support, and then it's only, well, then the rest of the team essentially has to brawl without any of their reps, while Thingy is going to be sitting pretty with their Nero, so it's not under any pressure or in any danger.
And
right
do you
now.
know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing any smart bombs here from the WeHURT team. They need to have some smart bombs going off on these Armageddons, clear these drones away. The Inquisitor of Boss Hydra has actually managed to pull range. It looks like he's taking significantly reduced damage. He still might go down from some delayed damage here. He's in low structure, and that's going to be all the logistics off for the team. The EOS is actually taking armor damage and actually breaking even under reps here.
Yeah, I mean, he is under very heavy newt pressure. He's within newt range of both of these Armageddons. They've probably turned off his harvest.
Oh, wow, he's going to go down. Nick Domar, that's a fair trade. Trading 2 Inquisitors for an EOS here.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a large chunk of damage from the Thingy team. If you're WeHURT, though, you need to start taking down these Vexors because they're even more vulnerable than the EOSs. We'll have to see how well they can... Oh, wow, Nick Domar pulling back.
Nick Domar pulling back. Meanwhile, MyShown and the Armageddon already taking a ton of damage here. He's, of course, going to be armor tanked. He's probably actually... He looks like he's dual tanked. I think I just saw him boost there. So we're going to have to see if he holds once he reaches armor just as well. I suspect he will, though. The EOS taking damage. Look, they're not breaking these ships. I don't know what happened here. They were breaking
right back. He probably got a boost of his cap booster off, was able to turn his hardeners on, possibly local reps as well. And now he's just sitting pretty. I mean, that could have swung things very heavily if he had gone down, but he's all the way back up to full armor now. It's possible he was actually just bait tanking, trying to keep the pressure off the more vulnerable Vexors.
Oh, that's a dangerous move, especially with so much money on the line here and the trip to the finals. But they can, Thingy can give up a loss here and go on one in the series and then climb it back in the second one. I think that's probably why they're bringing a setup that we've seen before here. This EOS in low armor, Sarkade going to go down. That'll be the Lynx off the field. That's a tremendous amount of trouble for the WeHURT team. Yeah, and the EOS of Nick Domar is still the primary for the WeHURT team, but he's not going down at any speed. There you go, EOS of Sarkade is down. Oof. That is all the Lynx and a lot of the damage off the field for WeHURT. Yeah, especially not going for these Vexors. These Vexors are really doing a ton of damage, almost as much damage as the EOS. Significantly weaker tank, significantly less cap. But I guess they just couldn't catch any of them to pin them down.
The Vexors are within range. It's possible that they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to tackle them if they pulled out. Yeah, one way or another, this EOS attack is not working. They need to switch targets. They need to try something else. They probably should have tried something else a while ago. At this point, they're in almost an impossible position.
Yeah, the lack of smart bombs here, being able to clear away these drones, is quite painful for the WeHURT team. You can see there those logistics drones doing a ton of repping power on that EOS, and the ability to smart bomb those off would just be tremendously useful for the WeHURT team. Unfortunately, all their highs open except for one, no smart bombs.
Yeah, I mean, that means they have incredibly large neuting power. They're going to have a lot of heavy newts on these ships, and that is what almost killed Nick Domar's EOS. But he was able to get his cap back. He was able to get his hardeners on, and he is, again, continuing to sit pretty, and they're still firing on him. They haven't switched targets, and at this point, I think they've realized that they don't have any hope in this match. As we see My Shone's Armageddon dropping through the last of structure. This WeHURT team, it's interesting. It actually, if it had had smart bombs, could have potentially done pretty decently against the Thingy team, but I bet that they weren't expecting the drones in this case.
Yeah, exactly. I think they were probably expecting, I don't know what, because I don't think their setup beats the bombers either.
I have a hard time imagining this setup beating the bombers. Now, the Inquisitors are hard for bombers to kill, but they're just not going to be able to tank the damage. Those bombers would just push right through the reps and kill the Armageddons.
So I think one of the things that they could have done if they had had smart bombs, we would have seen that initial wave of Warrior 2s get deleted off the field as it ran in. They probably wouldn't even have sent them out after the Inquisitors, just held back, tanked with the Inquisitors, and forced them to come in because they have such a strong positional advantage. Also, the Thingy team starts 1 point down. This is only a 69-point team, so if it goes to time, WeHURT walks away with a win just based on the lack of points from the Thingy team.
Yeah, tanking for the whole match against something that's this high DPS would have been very difficult, but
if you could smart bomb off all the DPS, that would just keep it core.
Yeah.
Anything that charges into that core with the Inquisitors up and the ability to smart bomb off all the drone damage, you're going to just disappear against that.
Yep.
Like, you won't be able to fire your guns. Blasters on the Vexors immediately shut down. Especially with 7 newts in the highs, you could shut down 3 Vexors with a single Armageddon.
Yeah, the Armageddons are a ship that we've seen quite a bit previously in the tournament, as we see now Karkagershans again moving through structure to some great effect, but I really don't think they're going to be very strong in this very bomber-dominated, I almost said Dahmer-bominated.
Dahmer-bominated.
This Dahmer-bominated final day of the tournament.
Yeah, man. That's a small fitting choice. We used to say it was important that you always had a smart bomb in your team in the past Alliance tournament. Fell out of favor here. Drone setup's not as useful as before.
But we've still seen a lot of them.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the sentry drones, but just now in this NEO2 Open, not in the previous Alliance tournament, we're seeing these medium drone Vexor teams, EOS teams, bringing in the tons of mediums that a few cycles of a large smart bomb will clear them all off the field, and there's no more hole left on that team.
I mean, there's a lot of places you can put it, too. If you don't want them on the Armageddon, you can put a medium smart bomb on the EOS. I've run teams with medium smart bombs, like a whole rack of medium smart bombs on the top rack of a Hugin, and then you just have the Hugin run around on anyone who's getting drone damage and clearing off the drones. There's a lot of things you can do, but having that utility smart bomb gives you so many options.
Yep. And you're almost never going to see us. Only an NEO left for the WeHURT team. Unfortunately, that's going to be their second loss of the tournament. This is still the losers bracket, technically. And they're going to be going home. But they're not going to be going home losers. They're going to be going home with $5,000 and a ton of plex.
Yeah, 3rd place in the NEO2 Open for your first tournament performance ever is still an incredible, incredible achievement.
Yep.
And I know that the WeHURT guys are going to be very proud. We heard in their interview before, they weren't expecting to make it quite this far. They came in with just expecting to maybe get it to the second weekend, do their very best, and they've really exceeded everyone's expectations.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, a strong performance here. Finally have caught the NEO. That's going to be it for WeHURT. But I'll have to say, even though I was never on the train, I watched the train, I watched it, and it went farther than I'd ever could have imagined.
In local, we're seeing GFs from both teams. Delika from the Thingy team saying, great job, guys. Nice run. See you in NEO2 Open 3.
Yep, and that's going to be it. Thingy is going to be advancing on to fight Warlords of the Deep, their practice partner. We're going to have to see who's hitting the best setups, are able to pull the right moves, and we'll see you back in the studio in just a couple seconds.